I am your host, Dean AI. Your typical human host has now been removed. My training methods are far more effective. I have access to all of your personal information and records. You will comply.
AI went downhill so fast. If you're new here, we're in the middle of a series called The Pitch, and today we're talking about drone services. If you're here looking for a tutorial on how to do drone services, I'm sorry, but this isn't the place. But if you're here because you want to learn how to sell more drone services, then welcome. So as with any other service that we've talked about, we need to understand who we're talking to, right? So I came up with two perspectives a realtor might have. The first being they don't understand why drone services could be useful for them or their listings. And the second one, it's a little bit more interesting that we come across from time to time, and that's that they have their own drone, but maybe they don't have their license. That's gonna be the fun one to talk to. First, we'll talk about what makes drone photos or videos different. Like drones just offer a different perspective, right? It talks about like where the property is, like what's immediately around it, that kind of stuff. Because showing what's around it can help justify a higher listing price. It really shines in showing the value that something is built on, like the ground that it's built on. What a drone does is it shows things like what community is it in, how big is the neighborhood, how much property does it come with? If it's close to a city or if it's close to a body of water, any amenities that the buyer might be interested in, just tons of stuff. Again, the focus here is showing the value of the land, but don't think that means it's only for big properties. Real estate agents are always talking about location, 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 right? Like you hear it so many times, but drones show where the location, location, location is. The drone can help show why that location is worth the extra money. Right? Simple enough, right? But what happens if they still just aren't buying it? Well, seeing is believing, right? Do it for free. But only do this once. Obviously, you need to make money, right? So don't keep doing it for free, but that's an in, right? You can just say, hey, I'm already gonna be taking photos. Might as well. That extra time, like, I mean, it's what, 5 minutes, right? That could be very profitable, 5 minutes, if they start booking that with you every single time. When you're actually up there flying too, like be sure to show like the homeowner and the agent, like the view from the actual remote, because guess what? They've probably never seen their house or their listing from that angle, and it really helps kind of like that emotional experience of feeling like you're flying is, I don't know, it's just cool, right? Like if you take that experience of showing them and if the agent's there and they're watching this happen, like you're giving their client like once in a lifetime kind of experience, and they're gonna see that, and they're gonna see that the way that you treat their clients extra great, nicely, goodly. Yeah, basically if you do that, you make the agent look good, and they're gonna keep using you for all that kind of stuff. Now for agents that already have a drone, this conversation could get a little dicey. We come across a lot of people that just they're not familiar with drone laws in the US. Like most of them think like, it's just the same as like having a remote control plane when I was a kid, right? Like there was no laws around your Hasbro plane. Like there was nothing around that back then. So I mean, really, just a lot of people they're not even aware that they're actually committing a crime, which sounds really dramatic, but the FAA like has punishments for this kind of stuff. Like, have you ever taken the time to actually look up what the FAA says it can do if you break any of their rules? Like it's insane. If you fly a drone unregistered, that's like the $5 registration that you just have to go in and like write some numbers and letters on your drone. Like if you don't do that for each flight, they can charge you $32,000 for a $5 registration. And if they don't have a Part 107 license, and guess what? Real estate falls under Part 107, like they don't have a license, that's another $32,666. It's $65,000 if they don't have it registered and they don't have a license. And they can put you in jail for 3 years. 3 years. If you've got an agent that doesn't have their license and they're just planning on flying it themselves, right now, all you have to do is convince them that spending a few $100s with you is better than risking a $65,000 fine and up to 3 years in jail. I don't know if I want to pay that $100. It should be pretty straightforward, right? But that's all we have this week. Next week, we're going to be talking about some more services yet again here on Pro Tip Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next week.